So yesterday, at least while I'm recording this, Pokemon Legends ZA received its third trailer and a dedicated section of the July 22nd Pokemon Presents, which, to be completely honest, was pretty slow and not that entertaining. However, we got a decent bit of information on the game, and I'd like to discuss it as well as my personal thoughts and theories for Pokemon Legends ZA. So in the latest trailer, we got a few notable gameplay elements as well as a few that were only mentioned on the Legends ZA website, which is going to be linked in the description below. So I made a little bit of a checklist to go over that we will be going point by point as the video progresses. So number one, alphas are returning for Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is great. Number two, wild megas will be all over the world, also known as rogue megas, and they seem to be little raids that will require 3 to 4 players and or NPCs to help you out with them. Also, we don't know if it's required or recommended that you bring Megas into these rogue fights. Number 3, Mega Dragonite was revealed. This is amazing. More on that later. Number 4, and this is actually really cool, clothing and trainer customization is being completely overhauled from all previous games. It looks great. Number 5, we learned on the website how Megastones are actually going to be acquired in this game, as well as a few other rewards, but back onto that in a minute. And finally, number 6, the new quote-unquote evil teams part in the story was discussed a tiny bit in the trailer. But honestly, to me, it seems like either they're going to be the bad guys or the good guys. Back to that in a moment. Alright, let's get started by talking about the first 2 points, all in one, because they're kind of one and the same. They are both seemingly gimmicks brought over from the past 2 games into this one. So alpha Pokemon are pretty straightforward. They're just really big and buffed up Pokemon, and I'm glad to see them back. However, the wild Mega Pokemon are more interesting in my opinion because this could either be number one, this game stand in for the noble Pokemon, or two, it could be a possible raid type game, but it could be both. And on top of that, it is very unlikely we will be getting 8 gems in this game. We might be able to get a callback to Clement, the electric type gym leader of Pokemon X and Y, or maybe he's retired and Bonnie is now the gym leader. We don't know. That would actually be a pretty interesting story, to be honest. But back in Legends Arceus, we had the noble Pokemon as roadblocks of sorts. So I'm curious what the roadblocks in this game is going to be. I'm personally guessing that of the new megas we're getting, some of them may become noble Pokemon for this game or the roadblocks. Next up, let's talk about Mega Dragonite, and I'm honestly kind of conflicted on this, as are many Pokemon players. So, for one, we've been wanting this Pokemon since Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out because we thought we would get it with the second wave of Mega Evolutions. But so many people are disappointed by the Mega Evolutions design, but I personally think it's actually pretty good. I mean, it keeps some aspects of Dragonair, and if you actually read the little paragraph we got on the Pokemon website, which will be up on the screen, a summary of it basically says it's just like regular Dragonite, just buffer, and it will immediately go and protect anyone that is in need of saving. Because that's what Dragonite is. It isn't like the other pseudo legendaries, which are just big buff dragons or robots, whatever. It is a protector and a messenger. And honestly am kind of getting really used to its Mega Evolution, and I'm probably going to use it on my team. So next up, let's talk about the customization of trainers. I'm not even going to lie at all here. This is a massive improvement from Scarlet and Violet. I really don't know what they were thinking trapping us into school uniforms the entire game. In fact, unless you go to the optional classes, you quite literally spend maybe 10 minutes at the school. So seeing that Legends ZA is bringing back the Sword and Shield-esque type of character customization and improving on it is actually really good to see. And I'm excited to make my character look amazing. So next up, let's talk about Mega Stones and how they are obtained. So, as you can see on screen, this is a Mega Shard cluster. So similar to Pokemon Legends Arceus, I believe either like in Legends Arceus you can throw your Pokemon at it and it will obtain the shards, or perhaps like in Scarlet and Violet you're going to be using a Let's Go type mechanic, and then you will obtain the shards. And you have to take them to a specific place in the game, and you can trade these Mega Shards for Mega Stones, as you can see right here. However, I'm just gonna guess it's gonna be like a Pokemon of sorts type screen, where let's say Mega Charizard IX is gonna be like 500, but Mewtwo IY is gonna be 1,000, stuff like that. Like it's going to be, you have to either spend these shards, or alternatively they could make it to where you have to find all the clusters. Like there's going to be a limited amount of clusters, and then once you collect specific amounts of shards you will get said megastone. Like maybe your first megastone will be Heracrossite, but the last one you obtain at the very end will be like, I don't know, whatever new megas they come out with. I'm not sure, but that would be a really interesting change. But also, I just want to say I am so grateful that Legends ZA seemingly is giving more oomph to Mega Evolution, because realistically, in X and Y, you really just got your Mega Kanto starter and the free Mega Lucario that just let you blaze through the game. And then also, if you got Blaziken, you had 3 megas on your team. Like, it is still crazy to me how they gave you, if you bought this game when it released, if you bought X and Y when it released, you had your first starter. You didn't know about the Colossus one. You got your first starter, Finnegan, Chestnut, Froakie, but then you also remembered you have a Blaziken on the way, so you pick either the water or the grass starter because you know you have a fire one on the way. But then you get a Mega Gen 1 starter, so you get one starter per type of water, grass, and fire. And then they just hand you a Mega Lucario on a silver platter. You literally cannot refuse the Mega Lucario at all. I tried when I first played. I was like, let me see what happens if I say no. Like, it's just crazy. They give you 4 of the 6 Pokemon you're allowed on your team. Technically 3 if you didn't have that Blaziken. Like, it's just nuts. So I'm so glad that they are leaning into Mega Evolution being everywhere instead of just like 3 trainers throughout the entire game, which I never understood why they did that. So lastly, let's talk about the evil team for this game, the Rust Syndicate. We know very little about this group outside of the fact that A might be a competitor to the corporation we learned about in the first trailer. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but it starts with a Q. Anyway, so as you can see here, as part of the trailer, they have a Megastone, so they are going to be an antagonist possibly. We also see an Arbok. Also, this guy has a King Gambit statue, so I'm wondering how that's gonna work. But they seem to have a ginormous legion around them, so they could be a pretty evil team. So lastly, I want to talk about a little small theory I have for the game. So number one, I feel like we're going to be getting Megas of the Colo starters as well as Mega Zygarde. And for Mega Zygarde, we are going to have to collect, honest to God, just a bunch of Zygarde cells, and then once we do that and complete the Pokedex, Zygarde will allow us to capture him. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more Minecraft, Pokemon, and Stardew Valley content, as well as the fact that I'm going to be uploading my entire first playthrough of this game on this channel live. So, subscribe so you don't miss out. And have a great rest of y'all's day. Peace out.